Not all exercises are created equal, and if we want to gain the most amount of muscle in the least amount of time, we have to focus on the exercises that give us the best bang for our buck. In this video, I want to share 7 exercises every man must avoid, especially as we get older. Not only are these exercises a waste of time and effort, but they could also hinder your recovery, further delaying your results. So let's jump right in. Exercise number 1. Barbell Upright Rows. There's no doubt that upright rows are great for targeting the mid-delts and upper traps. The traditional upright row, however, requires lifting the elbows high and bringing the barbell close to the chin, which inherently involves a significant degree of internal shoulder rotation. This internal rotation can put a lot of stress on the shoulder joint, specifically the rotator cuff tendons. This is particularly detrimental for us older guys who may already have decreased joint resilience. It's no surprise then that the Hawkins-Kennedy test used to diagnose shoulder impingement is the exact same motion as the barbell upright row. Thus, a better alternative might be the wide grip variation with dumbbells, where you stop at shoulder height and slightly externally rotate at the top. The wider grip targets the traps and delts better, but also lessens the internal rotation of the humerus. The dumbbells make it so your wrist and shoulders are not locked into position and can externally rotate freely, and stopping at shoulder height at the top further decreases the risk of injury. So, while the traditional upright row is a complete waste of your time, the wider grip variation with dumbbells is a great compound movement for targeting muscles that are otherwise understimulated. Exercise number 2. Side bends. This exercise involves dynamic and repetitive lateral flexion of the trunk with the addition of an external load, which can exert significant pressure on the intervertebral discs. The side bending motion can push the center of the disc toward the back and side where herniation commonly occurs. So, unless you want a herniated disc to sideline you from the gym, then it'd be best to avoid doing this exercise completely. And if you're performing this exercise as a way to target the obliques, consider this. The oblique muscles are designed to rotate and twist the torso rather than flex it laterally. Therefore, side bends don't align well with the natural function and orientation of your obliques. According to the research, exercises that require constant abdominal stabilization as well as body rotation generate the most muscle activity in the obliques. And out of the 13 exercises that researchers tested, the captain's chair showed to be the most effective for this particular region of the core. And if you want to make this exercise a bit more challenging, place a dumbbell between your feet and progress that way. Exercise number 3. Forward lunges. Forward lunges are often praised for their ability to target the quads and glutes effectively. While single leg movements tend to be friendlier on the joints than double leg movements, not all single leg movements are created equal. According to this study, forward lunges create high shear forces in the knees compared to reverse lunges. Another study comparing the joint loading of forward and backward lunges found that forward lunges produce greater patellofemoral joint force and loading rate than the backward lunge. Given these risks, consider substituting your forward lunges for reverse lunges. Not only are reverse lunges gentler on the knee joints, but this study showed that reverse lunges resulted in the highest activation of the glutes maximus and quadriceps compared to the forward and walking lunges. Another great alternative would be the rear foot elevated split squat or Bulgarian split squat. When comparing traditional back squats and Bulgarian split squats, this single leg variation was reported to reach the same level of muscle activation as back squats while using just half the weight. Exercise number 4. Pinch presses. Pinch presses involve squeezing weights together while performing a chest press and are often touted for their ability to enhance chest contraction and induce a pump. And while this isn't a dangerous exercise, it is ineffective and inefficient. The execution of the pinch press naturally limits the range of motion of the movement because the weights you're pinching prevent you from horizontally abducting your arms. Thus, this exercise fails to effectively train horizontal adduction, the main main function of the pecs. On top of that, this 2024 study found that the pectoralis seems to benefit from being trained in a stretched position, and due to the nature of the pinch press, the pecs are never being trained from a truly stretched position. So, to safely and effectively target the chest muscles, consider exercises like the converging chest press or seated cable crossovers, as these exercises allow for a full range of motion, produce better muscle activation, and lend themselves well to progressive overload. Exercise number 5, behind the neck shoulder press. Performing behind the neck presses places a considerable amount of stress on the shoulder joints. The position required for this movement forces the shoulders into an unnatural and extreme range of motion. And according to this study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research, this position biomechanically may lead to overstretching of the anterior shoulder tissue, leading to instability. Additionally, the behind the neck position also places undue stress on the cervical spine and its surrounding musculature, since it forces you to tilt your head into an awkward position. This can lead to neck pain and potentiates a really serious, life-threatening injury should the bar slip from your hands. As we age, maintaining flexibility and mobility becomes more challenging. Instead of forcing yourself into unnatural ranges of motion, all you simply need to do is bring the bar to the front of your torso and perform the shoulder press the conventional way, preventing the development of shoulder instability and pain. And if you're really looking to get the best bang out of your buck with shoulder presses, consider this. One 2013 study looked at deltoid EMG activity for 4 variations of the shoulder press: a standing and seated variation with a barbell, and a standing and seated variation with dumbbells. The results of the study showed that the standing dumbbell variation led to the greatest muscle activation in all 3 heads. Exercise number 6, Dumbbell Fly. While dumbbell flies have long been popular for chest development, they come with several downsides that outweigh their benefits. First, studies report that most pec injuries from chest training occur at the point of maximal eccentric contraction or at the bottom position. The external moment arm is at its largest at the bottom of the fly, and thus the stress in the surrounding musculature and connective tissue are at the highest. From a muscle-only standpoint, this is a great thing, as this intense stretch leads to significant growth stimulus. Performing dumbbell flies on a bench, however, significantly increases the risk of overextension, and continuous overextension can result in acute sharp pain or gradual degradation of the connective tissue around the shoulder capsule, both of which are obviously undesirable. At the top of the movement, your arms are directly above your chest, meaning there's little to no force on the pec muscles. This lack of tension at the peak of the exercise limits muscle activation and growth potential. To mitigate the risk and still effectively target the chest, consider alternatives like cable flies or the pec deck machine. These exercises keep the chest muscles under tension throughout the entire range of motion, reduce the risk of overextension by making it easier to bail and safer to fail, and allow for a fully engaged chest adduction. Exercise number 7, rolling shrugs. Rolling your shoulders during a shrug might seem like a way to enhance this exercise, but it's not. The primary goal of weighted shrugs is to build the traps by elevating the shoulders against resistance. Rolling the shoulders forward or backward after each shrug doesn't add any significant stimulus to the muscles you're trying to train. Additionally, rolling your shoulders when you have heavy weights in hand can lead to a neck strain and or irritation of your shoulder capsule. Instead of risking strain, pain, and wasting your time with rolling shrugs, consider this. Research shows that having your arms in a degree of abduction rather than directly at your sides leads to a greater degree of upper trap activation. And according to this study, the focus movement of the scapula via retraction-protraction effectively targets the traps better than conventional upright shrugs. Thus, I recommend incorporating a snatch grip shrug where you're leaning slightly forward. To perform this exercise effectively, make sure you're gripping the bar at a width where it sits right at the top of the pubic bone when standing upright. Lean your torso slightly forward and shrug the bar up and inward as if you're trying to touch your shoulders to your ears. Control the weight on the way down and initiate the rep once your arms are completely straight and the traps are fully lengthened. So there you have it. 7 exercises every man must avoid. And remember, while all of these exercises aren't inherently bad or dangerous, there are far better alternatives that'll get you the results you're aiming for faster and safer. Did you find this video helpful? If so, click the like button below as it'll truly help out the channel. And if you're an intermediate or advanced lifter whose muscle gains have stalled and are looking to jumpstart new muscle growth, grab a copy of Mass 5 Full Body. This is a high-frequency, full-body workout for intermediate and advanced lifters who are looking to take their physique to the next level. And right now, you can get an additional 25% off by using the coupon code MASS25. If you want to learn more, click the link in the description below. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe for more videos, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next one. Peace.